I was talking to the illustrator Richard Bell the other day, and I asked him where he drew his inspiration from. And he said to me that a sense of place is very important to artists. So I said, all right then, if you were a town, what town would you be? And he said, Dewsbury. And I thought, why not? So we've come to Dewsbury to look at its famous market and see how it might inspire an artist. It's easy to see how Dewsbury Market, with its colour, character and history, appeals to artists. And it's where we meet Wakefield illustrator Richard Bell, who today is joined by Danny Gregory, a fellow artist from New York. Dewsbury Market, Danny, is one of the great institutions of Yorkshire. I mean, is this the sort of place that you'd come in New York to do your drawings?
Yeah, places that have lots of activity, lots of different people, interesting things to look at, yeah.
What about you, Richard? Would you come to markets normally, or do you prefer to be a bit more reflective and quiet?
I come to markets because I do spend so much time out, just drawing trees. I need practice drawing people and architectural settings. Yeah.
Well, Dewsbury Market, I mean, I think we're going to have some fun today because it's absolutely full of characters. It's a fantastic little snapshot actually, because you've got Dewsbury Pioneers Industrial Society straight through.
Oh, that is a wonderful building. I could just spend all day just drawing that building. It's, I want to get off to Paris and Prague drawing, but I sometimes think, well, I could just come to Dewsbury. It'd be so much easier.
Danny, let's talk first of all about how you come to meet Richard, because it's a long distance friendship.
It's true, yes. I was looking for people on the internet who do illustrated journaling like I do. I mean, it's difficult to just run into people, even in a place like New York City. Yeah. And so I searched on the internet, and I happened to come across Richard's Wild West Yorkshire website, and I saw that what he does is so much like what I do, but with a different point of view. So I wrote to him, and I sent him some stuff that I had done, and we just started corresponding. And for about a year or so, we've talked and exchanged drawings and stuff like that, and so I arranged as soon as I could to come over and spend some time with him doing it.
How does this kind of architectural drawing compare to the sort of stuff that, say, you've been doing in Normanton?
I did try to, in Normanton, I did this, a sort of general view, but most of the stuff I was doing in Normanton, I was intrigued by architectural detail, so close up on the apex of the swimming baths with the Art Nouveau lettering, baths carved on it, or the chapels, the wonderful chapels there with they look like West End theatres, they look like theatrical buildings.
There's that lovely Carnegie Library at Normanton as well. You drew that one, Steve?
Oh yeah, that's got a lot of character to it, and it's in a way that the building is more moving to me because it is boarded up, and it's got a hole in the roof at the back. I sort of feel it's like the King Lear of libraries. It's sitting there blinded on its windswept hillside, spurned by the locals.
A lot of artists I've talked to over the years are quite private about their drawing and sketching. They don't always like people to see things until it's finished. You don't seem to have that problem.
No, I like to have film crews with me whenever I draw. It makes for much better results, I find. I usually insist on it, in fact. So.
That's what you call the New York sense of humour, that, you see. What do you like drawing most of all? People, buildings?
I think I just like drawing things that are complex. I mean, for instance, this thing that I'm drawing now just has lots of little tiny details in it. It has people, it has shapes, it has regularity, it has patterns. It has lots of different colors, and so that makes for a good drawing.
What will happen with this stuff? Will it, things that you're particularly pleased with, would you rework them into something else, or would you keep it just as a...
I keep it as a diary. I mean, I tend not to rework things because I like to have a sort of spontaneous record of what I was feeling, but I can turn this into a... Richard and I are talking about doing maybe a series called Old York, New York, And the idea is, that he would come and visit me in New York, and we would draw together, and then we would maybe put a book together or something like that of our, of our shared visions of each other's town.